Call hello Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Ruel. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. I've watched this 3 times, and I don't really know the angle that I want to take from this because there's many different ways, many different topics I can get. But something just told me to press record and and let this play again. And as the scriptures come to you, you will get them. So this is another quick one throughout the week. You see the caption here. It says, God forgives, we don't. And what you have here is, I guess, a result, especially from the older generation, is a result of the mental manipulation that this society has done on our people, right? If at first it started with Christianity, and I'm only talking about like from the 1900s till now. So with Christianity and the other white meat, Jesus, and then you had, after they've completely threw religion out, it's more of a feeling of, or should I say a sentiment of anarchy, and pushing just all manner of debauchery and foolishness and murder and drugs and all this other stuff that they push in order to keep Jake in a drunken stupor, right? Pushing the wine, or given as the scripture that talks about giving your neighbor strong drink. Let me get that real quick. Habakkuk 2:15. All right. Straight to the point here. Actually, no, I want 12 and 15. So I'm going to read 12 first. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood and establisheth the city by iniquity. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and that the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Okay. And the point here is in 15. Woe to him that giveth his neighbor strong drink, and that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. All right. I'm gonna just finish it. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And all of the embarrassment, all of the hurt and the unjust and unrighteous dealings, right? Riches got by deceit. The kingdom will be translated from one people to another. So this is again right here just another sentiment of Christianity and not knowing who you are or who your enemy is. And but I also get it on the carnal level. Jake is upset. Jake is being roused up. Now, just because they're roused up doesn't mean they're being roused up according to truth. All right, so here we go.
And frankly, the world has been sipping from the bottomless well of black forgiveness for far too long, bro. And it's about time we collectively cut them off. The only people that deserve black people's forgiveness is other black people. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that should even have stipulations within our community as well. To those that are coons and those that are predators, they don't deserve forgiveness, bro. They don't garner any support just because they're black.
So what that means is accountability and standards. And that's why I said, even on a carnal level, this truth has reverberating effects. Okay, you throw a rock in the pond, and then the waves just get bigger and bigger as they spread. So you're starting to see some level of solidarity, some level of standard and accountability, even in 2/3 of our people.
Like last night, I was watching this documentary on HBO called People versus the Klan, and it talks about how a mother in Mobile, Alabama, seek to get justice for her son who was lynched. And she won the criminal trial, and she also won the civil trial against the Klan. And one part of the documentary, they talk about during the civil trial how one of the guys that participated in lynching her son. Now, what happened was they found her son. He was walking to the store. They supposedly asked him for directions. They put a gun to his face, made him get in the car, drove him about 30 to 40 minutes outside of Mobile, Alabama.
Let me tell you something before. Never, okay, never get in a car. Whatever they gonna do to you, let them do it right there and then. Or should I say, let it happen right there and then. Um, but never get in the car with somebody. Because wherever they're taking you, it's gonna be 10 times worse what they do out of the sight of the public eye. Okay? And I say that, I think, because, I saw something about, blackouts coming pretty soon here. There's potential blackouts, which we already knew through the spirit. Think that was on its way. Just didn't know exactly when. And you have an example. I encourage you to go look up how these Edomites acted during Katrina. Okay? And there's your example. Your nice neighbor, Biff from up the street, all right, will go from who you know him as to basically, let's just say that Esau is Esau, and their colors, they will show their colors given the opportunity. All right, Ecclesiasticus 12:10 tells you never trust your enemy. You have to be circumspect. You have to pay attention to what goes on around you. And this is not really a part of the video. I think this is just through the spirit. This is coming out. Because all you need is for a societal breakdown to happen. Okay? When the rule of law deteriorates, people, especially a certain demographic, people show their true colors. So first and foremost, there is no way out of this. There is no protection greater or higher than the trust in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, right? And you would have had to build up that inner man, that spirit man right now. Invest early, seeking the Lord, denying yourself, denying your flesh, okay? And doing all that you can to read, study, learn, and grow and build that relationship. So that way a stranger isn't calling on the Lord. All right, because people tend to do that. Now they, oh Lord, oh Jesus, oh this, oh that, when trouble is happening, but they never, ever gave Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, right, whom the world ignorantly refers to as God and Jesus. They never gave him a first or second or third thought. It was about what they wanted to do, when they wanted to do it, how they wanted to do it, and nobody could tell them anything. And those people are going to catch the brunt when this place inevitably comes to a collapse. Okay, so that was my PSA. Let's continue on with what we had planned here.
Beat him, choked him out, and strangled him. Then cut his throat, put him in the trunk, and brought him back to Mobile, Alabama to hang him on a tree so everybody can see. So just so you have an idea on what they did to him. Now, back to what I was saying, where there was a certain part in the trial to where the guy that participated in doing that, it was two of them, that participated in doing that, said something to the mom during the trial, like, if I could take your son's place, I would, and I just want to let you know that I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? And the mom was like, yeah, I forgave him a long time ago, da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, here we go with this shit.
So they love to abuse the turn the other cheek. I forget where it's at. I know it's in Matthew. Matthew 5:39. Now this is dealing with a fellow Israelite. Furthermore, even now with a fellow member, a fellow believer, somebody who truly has an understanding of these scriptures and they believe as you believe. But, also to your brother, your fellow Israelite. Matthew 5. Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. What is this? All right, because all too often that mental programming to where Jake will go in on their fellow, somebody that look like them, but straighten up when a pale devil is in their presence. All right, this is Matthew 5:39. This is something, that especially so-called white Christianity has abused, hijacked and abused. 39 here. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. All right, so these devils have really done a number, and with the okay of the Lord, because that was the only way. All right, for us to really be trodden down and for prophecy to be fulfilled, as this being one of the worst captivities, worse than the last.
Then the other guy that participated in the lynching of her son, he got the death sentence. And when it was his time to get the electric chair, they only let one member of the family in the room to witness it. So the brother said, I'll do it. Before they flipped the switch on this motherfucker, he asked the brother, do you forgive me? The brother said, I forgive you. It has got to stop, black people. God forgives, we don't.
And that's a saying of the world, but forgiveness is indicative of the what you need for forgiveness, or should I say a prerequisite is a breach of contract, right? So again, obviously, you read the book of Exodus 24 and it'll tell you Moses set up pillars for each of the 12 tribes, right? Set up altars for each of the 12 tribes, and he read the covenant. That covenant was to Abraham, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob and his progenitor of the 12 tribes. Okay, so that's the covenant. And the forgiveness or the reconciliation is to us. Right? So God does, or so-called God, or Yahweh, he does forgive, but he is also just, and he will recompense his enemies just as he will recompense or reward his friends or his servants, his obedience. All right? Because there you got Ezekiel 35. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Actually, we can go to it here because it has the the titles. I first clicked on this and it said over 1 billion downloads worldwide. Everybody looking for answers, boy. I'm telling you. The Spirit of the Lord has went out via his prophets, and people are now looking for answers. People did not read a Bible at all. And you talking to somebody who grew up in the foolishness of Christian church. And the biggest buffoonery and joke is the black Christian church. All right, so if we go here to, what did I say? Oh, Ezekiel 35. Lord, I done went too far. Where we at? And I know it gives you the subtitles here, or all right, this is a message for Edom. All right. Son of man, turn thy face to Mount Seir and prophesy against his people. Give this message from Yahweh of hosts. All right. I am your enemy, O Mount Seir, and I will raise my fist against you to destroy you completely. I will demolish your cities and make you desolate. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. And just as Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, Mount Seir or Basra is a people before it's a place. And wherever these devils are, because they have trespassed everywhere, that is where the Lord is going to make it known who he is. All right. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel. You butchered them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. As surely as I live, says Yahweh Power, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath. All right. And in the KJV says, since you have not hated blood, blood will pursue thee. All right. A bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and all who return. And this has not happened yet. This is a future prophecy. All right, that is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, he that leadeth into captivity shall go. He that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. And the blessing that Isaac gave unto Esau was his sword. by thy sword shalt thou live. And this has reigned true to this very minute that I speak to you, whoever may be listening. All right, so there is a fair and just recompense, whether you're on the left or on the right side of judgment. So God does forgive, and we should forgive our brother. You turn the other cheek to your brother, or if you want to, kind of link it to what's going on now, right? Have a little grace with somebody who looks like you, so-called black, native, or Hispanic, or Latino. All right. Now, that's not to say that you are just ignorant of the foolishness, because our people can and do be on that bull. But, at the end of the day, you got to exercise, what's the word I'm looking for? Exercise a little judgment, and, know when to have grace and know when to walk away and let certain folks have it. All right. But, show a little grace to those that look like you, I guess, if you want to speak on a carnal level. And break that cycle of that, because that's a part of the curse, right? To have an evil eye towards your brother, and this was just a vehicle. All right, so I'll let him finish out. I think that we've gotten the point here. This didn't need to be very long, but also the book of Obadiah talks about, Esau, Edom's judgment, and also this is a couple of scriptures here, this middle section with Joel 3:19, Isaiah 13:19, right? I've put this on here so people can screenshot, but this links Esau to Babylon, and it always has the same sentiment, and it is utter destruction. All right, so there is a just and a fair recompense, and there is a just and a fair reward for his people, and the recompense for his enemies. All right. And I'll let it finish off with whatever else he has to say. Maybe. We'll see.
Fuck that shit. Forgiveness has gotten us nowhere. That endless amount of forgiveness, give it to your own people. Half of y'all will not even give your own people the level of forgiveness that you will give your oppressors. This shit has got to stop. It's sickening.
Actually, I gotta stop, because also that is why you see 2/3 of our people, when you speak about the kingdom and how we, Israel, Esau's the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? When you try to tell them that these other heathen can't be saved, what do 2/3 of our people automatically go to? They automatically go to Esau. They will fight tooth and nail for the so-called white man to partake in their kingdom. Meanwhile, this devil's in his kingdom, and he has shut you out completely and utterly. So keep that in mind, all right? Whoever happens to hear this, who is brand new and doesn't know anything about the scriptures, or, somebody that falls along those lines. Get in your word, read, study, learn, fast, pray, repent, okay? Take notes as you're watching the videos of the prophets, and make sure you've internalized all this and you apply it to your life, so that you may grow and form that relationship with the Lord that we all so desperately need in the times to come. All right, the Lord will protect his elect. All right, I prayerfully, myself and anybody here sincerely listening and learning, preaching and teaching, we are all of that number. All right, so with that being said, shalom.